Hi, it's Mike. Welcome to my kitchen. Let's see. It's a holiday weekend and I got a little bit of jam running in the background. We are listening to some Third Eye Blind Station. Hope you enjoyed that. If you're from the 80s, you like that music. So, just got back from Aldi's and guess what? I picked up some really good stuff. Tonight we're going to do a salmon, and the salmon is going to be done I happen to have a flat iron, love it, griddle thing. If you don't have that, a skillet, a black iron skillet. If you don't have that, a straight up skillet will do it. Downside of this is I have the ability to cook outside. Really good when you make it. But if you cook inside, man, you better have a really good vent. It's gonna make your whole house smell like a fish fry. So that being said, I'm warning you ahead. Beyond that, we are gonna go ahead and make these yellow gold potatoes. I'm gonna just boil them up in this water that I got boiling. And then I'm just gonna make one of these little Aldi mixes with sunflower chopped salad mix. So if you look at the menu, it's gonna be the salmon with the potato with the salad. So let's roll forward. I also make a little sauce that goes on the salmon. Start with about a quarter cup, 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of margarine. Straight up old margarine, don't need to use butter. I'm gonna take that and melt it in the microwave really quick. I put it in for about a minute and I listen until it pops. Once it pops, it goes poof, and you know that you got about the right time on there. It'll be totally melted and warm. Okay, the water is still sitting there waiting to boil. I just got done liquefying my butter. I'm gonna take some mayo. And this is where your salmon becomes not so heart healthy. But at the end of the day, it'll cook off. You see, I just put a couple spoons in there. I don't get real accurate on these measurements, but it looks kind of like that. You'll be able to tell. If it's too buttery, it'll be real liquidy. If it's too mayonnaise-y, it'll be like kind of chunky. Once I get that done, again, ease of measurement, I take about a cap full of this lemon juice, toss it in, take some parm, straight up parm, out of the can, drop that in there. I'm to the bottom of this thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and dump in what I got. And again, that's just a few sprinkles. A little garlic on that. And you'll see garlic goes in a lot of what I cook. So, gonna stir that up. And boom, that looks really good. So it looks like a sauce you can kind of play with. It does two things. I will put it on the salmon when I cook it, and then I will save about half of it back to put on the salmon after I cook it. On top of that, I also like to use a little chorizo. That chorizo, straight up chorizo, I dump that. You'll see when I get to the end, I'll show you. But all of this Aldi stuff, I had to go to the grocery store and get it. You can get that at any of your markets, any of your straight up markets where you get all of your cool stuff, or really any grocery store pretty much has this. So that being said, I'm gonna roll you outside and give you a good look. Come on out, follow me. I got my flat grill going. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend you get one. You can also get an electric one. Turn it all the way up on high. I like to get the heat really going on this thing. If you don't have one, use an iron skillet. Iron skillet works perfectly fine. The nice thing about the flat griddle is that when the juice starts to flow, it'll kind of peel itself away from the meat. When you do use an iron skillet, it kind of starts to build up in there and gets a little more soggy. So if you use an iron skillet, my thought would be let it cook like I'll show you, but you might want to open it up once in a while and kind of dab around with a paper towel and pull some of the juice out so it doesn't get all soggy. You'll see the crispy edges I form on this thing, and they are really nice. We've been talking about the salmon. Inside the potatoes are boiling. Those potatoes are going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. I went through the painstaking effort of opening the salad bag and dumping it into the bowl. That was a really ton of work. So if you have somebody that can do that for you while you're in the middle of this, go ahead and do that. And the next thing we're gonna do is throw the salmon on. So the salmon goes skin side down. I'm gonna take my Aldi's olive oil, put it on there, drop that skin side down on that hot griddle. That hot griddle, I'm just gonna tell you, how hot is it? Just really hot. So if you have an iron skillet, heat it up for maybe, I don't know, 8 minutes, 7, 8 minutes, something. Wait until it's super duper hot. And then from there, I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil on the top. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic on it. Garlic powder, again, Aldi garlic powder, not a huge deal. Drop the lid on there, and my associate is gonna set the timer for 4 minutes, and we'll be back in 4 minutes. It's been 4 minutes. You can see what it looks like. Skin side down. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a flip. And I'm gonna put the lid back on. There's really nothing that happens beyond that at this point. So flip it, watch it, sit tight. Salmon's been sitting there. Look at that, nice and crispy. So we're 4 minutes, and we're gonna go 3 minutes and 3 minutes now. Again, we talked about how you do it at home without an outdoor kitchen. My thought is, again, indoor is your worst case scenario. If you have an outdoor space, bring your outdoor little griddle thing out, your plug-in griddle, heat that thing up and do just like we're doing here on the outdoor. If you have an outdoor barbecue pit with a grill or a burner on it, put your black iron out there. You have some choices. Black iron's always good, griddle's always good. Indoor, worst case scenario, it's going to smell really bad for a couple of days or at least a day. So give those choices some ideas or at least some thought when you're trying to make this. I've got the perfect environment, but not everyone has that, and I don't want you to be cheated from the great flavor we're about to make. So think through it, make sure you have the good setup, and then join us in a few minutes when we flip this back over and put some sauce on it and make it really tasty. So again, salmon from Aldi, fresh, not frozen. If you do freeze it, it's not quite as good when you unthaw it and make it. I find the fresh to be the best. So we're right to the last 3 minute session, and at that point, I'm going to take my mix that we made inside earlier. Again, there's 2 tablespoons of butter melted, margarine melted, a couple teaspoons of mayo, Parmesan cheese, garlic, and just a cap full of lemon. We're gonna go ahead and drop that on top of there, and you can see where it's gonna sear up. See the dark spots that are cooked? That's the part that's gonna touch the griddle. So we're gonna make sure we touch that really good. And I usually put on about half of this, and I save the other half to put on post pull. So once we pull it off and we go inside and we eat it, we're gonna go ahead and put some of that back on. So here we go. And I say 3 minutes. I'm usually closer to about 2.5 minutes I start looking at it. So join us back then, and we'll be back to show you how it looks when it comes out. When we put the mix on there, it put a little crust on there, and that's a really, really nice flavor. So got to kind of watch it at the end. If you're not careful, you can turn that into a really black, nasty piece of stuff that you want to peel off. So with that, we're going to go ahead and pull him off. And what you want is, you want it to be nice and flaky. Looks like this guy needs to go on for about another couple of minutes. If you pull him off and he's flaky and he falls right apart, no problem. If it looks a little pinky in here, come on in here, Ben. See how he's a little pinky in there? We're gonna go ahead and let him go up, finish up. We got the nice crust up there, so we don't really care what happens on the bottom. I'm gonna drop that lid on there for about another 1.5 minutes, and we'll be right back with you. So, take a look here. This is nice and flaky and dry. Most of the red is gone. That's what you want. A little bit of tinge of that is not going to hurt you, and that will help keep the moisture right where you want it to be. So with that, we're going to go ahead and pull this off. And man, it looks really tasty. So let's bring that inside, and I'll come back out in a few minutes to clean up the grill. Follow me. From here, there's a couple things I like to do. First of all, while you were gone, I mixed up the salad. I got the potatoes completely boiled. I like to take my mix and drop a little bit across the top. All the hard spots, just like everything I talked to you about, when things start to cool, they will start to absorb what's around them. In this case, this crusty shell is absorbing this nice flavor from all of the stuff that's in the mix. The other thing I like to do is take just a dabble of that and drop it across there like that. Voila! You have salmon a la Mike with a little bit of Aldi salad and some yellow Yukon Gold boiled potatoes. Enjoy.